Two builds, one chassis. That's right, today on the channel we'll be talking about two very different builds on the same chassis, the Ultradyne chassis. And I really wanted to do that because I really feel this is one of the most versatile, adaptive, and really one of the most affordable chassis available on the market right now. First, I did this ultra heavy 6GT build that was meant to be more like a PRS gun with accessories that complement that type of build. Then I built this, a somewhat lighter, more streamlined 22 Creedmoor build, which might be more for hunting or just say anything you expected to move with a little bit. We'll go through both builds, talk about the accessories used, and demonstrate what you can do with the Ultradyne chassis system. At the same time, you'll get a preview of some of the gear coming to the channel over the next couple months. One of the things that makes the Ultradyne chassis so great is that it is the perfect blank slate to build on. Up front, you have 3 different size forearms to choose from, this being the longest of the 3. That's also how Ultradyne names them. This is a UD7. There's also a UD5 and a UD3. As the rails get shorter, there are obviously less M-LOK slots. The forearm features M-LOK on 3 sides and ARCA across the bottom. If you've never used ARCA, it is really nice. It lets you quickly and easily move an accessory to any point on the rail. Moving back, the grip area is compatible with most AR-15 grips, so really the sky is the limit on the grips. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of possible grips to choose from. Also, compatibility. If you've messed with stocks and actions much, you know that everything doesn't always fit together like Legos, but I had both an impact action and a terminus action. 2 actions that can require fitting on some chassis fit right into this chassis, even with pleasantly plump 1.25" diameter barrels. In the back, there are threads compatible with an AR-15 buffer tube. This again creates nearly endless possibilities for your build. Ultradyne makes a stock that very well mimics a more typical chassis, and I'll be showing you that more in a minute because I used it on one of my builds. On the other hand, you could use a regular buffer tube and connect any of the multitude of AR-15 stocks available. This chassis really opens the options up and lets you go whatever direction you want to with your build. You could easily go from super lightweight hunting rig to ultra heavy PRS precision rifle, and that is all because you start off with an ultra lightweight chassis. This being the longest one weighs in at 1.5 pounds on my scale. It's always easier to add weight than it is to try to take it off. So let's get into what I did with it. The first rifle I used the Ultradyne chassis on was my 6GT build. This is a terminus action, which if you don't know about, I highly recommend you go check out our video on this amazing action with its ability to easily change calibers. I have a Kinport Peak Rifles barrel in this chambered in 6GT. Now we'll have a full video on 6GT soon, so stay tuned for that, but today we're mainly focusing on the chassis. I wanted to build this to be a very heavy, very PRS inspired rifle since 6GT is pretty much a PRS round, and I think I accomplished that. I started with the Ultradyne buttstock, and this thing is adjustable in every way that you could imagine. There are 2 lengths available, so pick the one that most accommodates your body frame. Then you can fine-tune the length by the threads on the buffer tube. The cheek riser is adjustable with this thumb screw to get you perfectly lined up behind any optic setup. And the stock also lets you use the Ultradyne weighted bag rider, adding up to an additional 2 pounds to the stock. Ultradyne has also come up with a unique way to make the butt pad itself adjustable. If you remove the butt pad, you'll notice that there are many threaded holes for mounting screws. This lets you move the butt pad to the desired position and just tighten the screws. Moving forward, I also have the Ultradyne thumb rest grip. This is a very well thought out grip. As the name states, it has a very nice thumb rest integrated in it for your thumb. It also has a very nice vertical design that I'm a huge fan of, especially when precision shooting. It also holds your finger just slightly away from the receiver. This should help better align your trigger finger for straighter, more consistent trigger pulls. Even if you're not using the Ultradyne chassis, this is an excellent grip for any precision build that accepts AR-15 style grips, and it is also available for wrong-handed shooters. Moving forward, I also added the Ultradyne spigot. This is basically designed to work directly with the Ultradyne chassis and gives you an additional 3¼ inches of perfectly aligned ARCA rail up front. This lets you get your bipod out a little farther forward and frees up rail space if you need it for other accessories. Then I added a couple of Ultradyne's M-LOK rail mounted weights to complete the package, and I do love the way this turned out. It shoots extremely well and the Ultradyne chassis is extremely comfortable. Not that 6GT has a ton of recoil, but all that weight really soaks it up and lets you get on the next shot very quickly. That was kind of a complete build using all of Ultradyne's stuff, which is amazing, but there is so much more you can do with this chassis. So I made this, a lighter weight, more mobile build for my 22 Creedmoor. This is built with an Impact 737 action and a barrel from South Texas Armament. 22 Creedmoor is the most impressive new round that I've shot since 8.6 Blackout, and I think you'll be seeing a lot more with it in the future. We'll have a full video out on 22 Creedmoor soon. On this one I used a standard AR buffer tube and attached the B5 Systems Precision stock. I'm a huge fan of this stock on Precision ARs, and it does a great job here as well. It's easily adjustable for comb height and length of pull, and most notably it just has a rock solid feel that you don't get from a lot of AR-15 stocks, and it does all that without adding too much weight. For the grip, I went with the Driven Arms Company vertical crossover grip. This is another great option for precision type setups, whether that be on an AR or a bolt action like this one. It has a great texture, very vertical design, and is thick with a nice taper as it approaches the trigger. While this build is lighter than the 6GT build, it still has a good bit of weight to it because of the competition profile barrel. But that's what I wanted, and I really like a heavy barrel on bolt guns that I don't plan on moving around with a lot. The heavy barrel helps dampen the recoil and can help with accuracy a little bit too. The bare Ultradyne chassis only weighs in at 1.5 pounds, so even while I didn't build something crazy lightweight, the Ultradyne chassis is definitely capable of that. I also think that's a smart way to go because you can always add weight in so many other places. So no matter what direction you want to take on your build, this chassis can accommodate it. The Ultradyne chassis is extremely versatile and also easier on your bank account than many other, especially if you've seen what other companies are charging for chassis these days. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because as always, we have some really big reviews in the works that you won't want to miss. If you want to know what those reviews are way before they hit the YouTube channel, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where you can see what's being reviewed in real time. And by the way, check the links in the description. There you can find some cool stuff that I found and the best deals on it. If you want to help support Alabama Arsenal, the absolute best way to do that is through Patreon. These videos can be surprisingly expensive to make, and every little bit helps and is greatly appreciated. There's also Alabama Arsenal gear available right below the video if you want to go out and represent. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching.